Hey guys, it's King, and welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we're going to be talking with Martin Carr. You know him as the guitarist of the Boo Radleys, a band that was popular during the BritPop era of the 90s, and whose cover of There She Goes you might have seen in the Mike Myers movie, I've Married an Axe Murderer. He's on the spectrum and has ADHD, which helps his creative process. So without further ado, let's welcome Martin to the channel. Thanks for coming on, Martin.
Hi, no problem. Nice to meet you.
All right. So, for those of you who might not know the story of the Boo Radleys or your story, can you tell us exactly who you are and what your story is?
Well, we were all friends in school back in the 1980s, and we started playing music together when we were in our teens, and we finally got a deal in early 1989, 1990. Released 5 or 6 albums, and then split up in 1999. We toured all over the world, toured the US a number of times. We had a pretty good time.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a good time. All right, my next question for you is, how has having autism and ADHD impacted your creative process, do you think?
I think it's better now that I know, because I wasn't diagnosed until I was in my late 40s, like 48, 49. So before that, there was just a lot of confusion about why I couldn't think properly, think straight. So my songwriting would come in bursts. I would kind of do it all within a couple of weeks and then not do any more for a while, because I found it really hard to concentrate on something for that long. And also because I was so confused that I was self-medicating quite a lot. I was drinking a lot and I was taking drugs, and I just couldn't relax. I could never relax.
Oh,
But now that I know, I can embrace it and kind of use different methods that I have, so that when I don't feel like working, I can still work. And when I do feel like working, I'm much more focused instead of just being distracted by everything,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way, honestly. I was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old. I'm about to be 21 come this July, and it took me a long time to embrace it.
Yeah.
I didn't fully understand it until I was 11, and I didn't fully accept it until 18, right when I was about to start college. And I realized being neurodiverse makes us great. It really does. All right.
Sometimes I don't like this, that it's a superpower, the ADHD part, because for me it's just been, I think because I didn't know, it's been a kind of heartache in my life, because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. My next question for you is, how did it feel to have a song placed in a Mike Myers movie, one of the biggest actors in the world and one of the most popular in the 90s?
Well, that was something that we didn't really want to do, and our record company thought it would be good for us because I think it was just before we flew out to America for the first time, and they kind of made us do it, and so that's it. I mean, I've never even seen the film, so
I honestly haven't either. I just thought that was a cool opportunity you guys had.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity. I don't know if it did us any good, but it makes sense to me now that they would want us to do that before we went to America, because in America, that is pretty much the thing that we're most known for.
Yeah, I totally get that. My next question for you is, what's your advice to anyone, neurodivergent or not, who wants to make it big in the music industry?
Well, my son is a musician. He's 16 and he really wants to, he's a great drummer and a great guitar player. But I say to him, look at me, we haven't got any money. And why would you want to do this job? And I was, relatively successful. I think it's more important to do what you love doing. If you love making music, you should make music. And good things might flow from that. But I don't think you can put the whole bank on, making it in the music industry, because it's really hard and it's really expensive now. If I go out and do a gig now, I'm getting paid the same as I did in 1990. And everything else is much more expensive.
Yeah, I definitely can't argue with that. All right, my last question for you is, what does the future hold for both the Boo Radleys and yourself? Can we see the new Boo Radleys reunion tour in the future?
Well, you can, but I won't be in it because I wasn't invited. They've been doing it for a couple of years now. And they didn't want me to do it. I don't know why they didn't want me to do it, but I can guess why, because I was really hard to work with. And I was a songwriter. And I realized now that it was kind of a control thing, that I didn't want anyone else to write songs, and I wanted to do as much as I could on the tracks. And, I pushed everyone out. And they just want to do their own songs. So they've got back together and they're doing that. And I'm making my own music.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much for coming on. And that's going to do it for this interview. If you guys want to see more inspiring individuals on the spectrum, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.